5 assists a game. These guards just don't dish that rock like they should to me. To me, if you're a point guard, you should be 8 to 10. 8 to 10 a game. When I see 4 and 5, I be like, you're not sharing the rock enough. So I give it to the West. They have shaken things up during this offseason. We got the defending champs coming back, trying to get a two-peat, which is we've seen is very hard to do in this league. Will they be able to do it? Come on in here, let's talk about it. What it do, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. While you in here, hit that like, comment, subscribe, notification bell so you'll be notified every time Her Takes uploads a new video. Alright, let's jump into part 2 of the best in the West. We did the East on yesterday's part 1. We're going to do the West on today, and we're going to figure out how I think the Western Conference is going to fare this upcoming season. Do I think that the OKC Thunder will repeat and make it to the finals again? Starting with the Pels. All right, so with the Pelicans, like I said, we're not going to waste time on, a lot of the role players. It's not really putting up numbers. But Herbert Jones, he only played 20 games last season. They had a lot of injuries that they had to overcome. I kind of feel like about them the way I feel with Philly in the East. They going to have to show me something. Perhaps at the break, we can see what they're looking like. Not sure. But we've got Zion Williamson. Of course, we know what Zion going to bring. 24, 5, and 7. I think, his numbers are even better than that when healthy. For sure, he only played 30 games. That's the problem there with them. Like I said, I feel the same way about them as I do Philly. Jordan, now they got Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole can be a blessing or a curse. Kind of like how I feel about Jaylen Brown with the Celtics. Either he going to run and gun and mess some stuff up, or he's going to really, really cook. That's Jordan Poole's career in a nutshell. Like, that's his career. We know about DeJounte Murray. He is a dog. He's a beast. I kind of like when that whole thing was going on with him and Trae. I had moments where I was like, man, I would rather we kept Murray and traded Trae for some good pieces and built around Murray. But, we ended up doing it the way we did, and hopefully it'll work out for both of those guys. We know Jose Alvarado is good, clutch shooter, stretch the floor and all that. Yves Messi, good center. He was a rookie last year, but he put up some good numbers. I was impressed with what I saw from him. Trey Murphy, 21 points, 3 assists, 5 boards. He's doing that thing. Kevon Looney, he's still hanging in there. Saddiq Bey, we're not worried about Saddiq Bey. Not worried about Saddiq Bey at all. I'm just glad he's no longer a Hawk. I'm glad to see he's healthy, but I'm also more so glad he's no longer a Hawk. Memphis, let's look at Memphis. I feel like between the Grizzlies and the Pels, they've got a shot to make the play-in. I got them at the 10 slot. I have them both at the 10 slot, actually, because I'm not sure. It's a toss-up which one gonna make it into the play-in, to be honest with you. I have in case anybody asks, well, where is Phoenix? No. D-Books ain't gonna be able to do it by himself, and I just have no faith in the rest of that roster either. So Jalen Wells, I did hear a lot about this young man. He did a really good job coming in as a rookie last year, putting up 10 points and 3 boards. Scottie Pippen Jr., same thing, 3 years in. He's not his daddy, but, he's putting up some numbers, some little solid numbers to become a good little role player on a squad. 10 points, 4 assists, and 3 boards. Ty Jerome, shooter, stretched the floor, 12 points, and 3 assists. Quintavious Caldwell-Pope, another Laker that I hate. In case y'all haven't noticed, I am number 1, a Hawks fan, number 2, Lakers. Unlike most people that say Jordan's the GOAT, they hate Bron. That's not me. Jordan is the GOAT, but I love Bron. So Lakers my number 2 team. I would like to see Bron get another chip. I just feel like, yeah, he mucked up. This ain't even about Bron right now. Let's get back to it. Quintavious Caldwell-Pope, that's another piece that the Lakers should have kept. That's what I was trying to say. He can stretch the floor, putting up numbers, shooting. Looked like his numbers tanked a little bit last season. Only played 77 games. Probably out there. You got to share the ball with a lot of folks out there in Orlando. It's not like you got Joker that's going to be feeding you that ball, getting you some open looks. So yeah, his numbers took a tank. Being on this squad, they should come back up. Aldama, I guess that's how you say his name. 12.6 boards. That's pretty solid for a forward/center. Come in and give you some numbers. Jaren Jackson Jr. See, this is why I got them in the mix. Playing with Ja, maybe he'll be able to get the ball a little more, but Ja, another one that he's very ball dominant, so his numbers will probably continue to tank. Jaren Jackson Jr., 22 points. 5 boards. So between Jaren Jackson, he usually stays pretty healthy. But Ja Morant, that's why I got him in there. I'm giving them that chance because Jaren Jackson, I just feel like, they have a better chance than some of those other teams at the bottom of the West. So I had to plug them in there. Then they got Zach Edey. He really held his own, almost a walking double-double his first year in the league. So I have some faith in him. Brandon Clark, 8 points, 5 boards. What is he? Oh, he's a forward. All right, that's some good little solid numbers. Nobody else is really, really popping out to me right now. But yeah, so those 2 teams right there, the Pelicans and the Grizzlies, I got them battling it out toward the end of the season for that 10th spot. So my number 9, some people probably gonna think I'm crazy. All right, Golden State Warriors. They one of the teams that made a lot of noise this off season. The whole Kuminga thing. That I believe we most definitely have not heard the end of what they got going on. Kuminga will not be a Warrior by the end of the season, by the end of trade deadline. I'm sure he gonna be on up out of there. I'm sure he even knows that. So we're gonna see. That's why I didn't want to put them up too high because I know their chemistry, team camaraderie. It's gonna be some noise in the locker room. I just didn't want to put them up too high. And they're old. They are old. They're one of the oldest teams, them and the Clippers. So, but Gary Payton, the second, he was able to re-sign. Good for him. You got Moses Moody, who's, he's put up some solid numbers. Podziemski's always put up his solid numbers. Good, Buddy Hield, stretched the floor. Jimmy Buckets, again, he's up there in age, 36 years old. Let's see, Draymond Green, 35. I didn't know he was younger than Jimmy. 35 years old. They just got some age on here. Steph Curry is 37. They got some talent, but man, they gonna have to stay healthy. Trace Jackson Davis, he played pretty solid. But then, I know they also got Seth Curry. I don't see him on here. Maybe they just haven't updated it yet. But they'll also have Seth Curry out there. Steph and Seth will be able to play together, which I think that's awesome that they'll be able to be on the same team. I wish they could have done it earlier in their career, somehow got on the same team, but it is what it is. They'll be playing together now, and I like that. Number 8, I'm gonna go with them Clippers at number 8. I feel like they're just gonna have enough talent, even with their age. I think that they're gonna be much more talented with the pieces that they have. Kawhi Leonard, Bradley Beal, James Harden, Chris Paul. They're just more talented with their age. They got the age, but then they got the talent as well. Too many more talented people, if you will. Because no disrespect to Steph, Draymond, and Jimmy Buckets. It's just I feel like these guys here, their supporting cast is more talented. I guess that makes more in line of what I'm thinking. The biggest thing for them though, and I'm looking at right here, 37 games played, 53 games played. Chris Paul and James Harden, they're pretty much available. But the big one right here, Kawhi Leonard. But I think even without Kawhi, I think they got enough talent to beat those bottom tier teams. Mainly because they got Derrick Jones Jr., they got Chris Dunn. Who else stands out to me? They got Bogey, shooter. Um, Brooke, he got, I don't know, he pulling 13 and 5, so he might. But this is the big one right here, John Collins. You got another 20.8 rebounds per game, and he's very athletic, very explosive. And I just feel like even without one of these, then you got Derrick Jones and John Collins. I'm pretty confident. Nick Batum gonna stretch the floor like he done fell off some though. Zubac walking double. I just feel like they're gonna overcome and make it into the playoffs and snatch up that number 8 seed into the playoffs. I just think that they will, providing because even like I said, even without Kawhi, let's say something happened and speaking on that, I haven't spoke on that on this channel. I'm gonna touch on it ever so slightly. Here are my thoughts with the Kawhi Leonard situation. In my opinion, if this comes out to be true, all the stuff about Kawhi, if it comes out to be true, it's kind of like when you get pulled over, right? And you tell the cop, well, I didn't know, right? Because me, I used to travel for work. I was a business traveler. And I remember one time I got pulled over and the cop was like, well, you was going this and that. I said, well, it was that much. The speed limit was this back there. I didn't know. I'm not from here. I don't live here, blah, blah, blah. He was like, ma'am. He looked at my license. He said, ma'am. He said, the speed limit signs look the same here as they do in Georgia. You didn't see that sign back there? Like, you gotta know. Not knowing is not an excuse. And that's the excuse that Kawhi tried to give, that he didn't know. That like they frauded him, they didn't do nothing wrong or whatever. I just think it's a bunch of garbage. So with that being said, I feel like not only should the Clippers get punished, I feel like he should get punished as well. I feel like Uncle Dennis should get fined and he should be suspended. He shouldn't be able to play because I've heard people talk, word going around saying, well, the Clippers will have to void his contract and he can go sign somewhere. No, I don't think that's right because he gonna find a team that's his easiest walk to the chip. Probably, someone that's got cap space that he can go walk to. Now, I don't know, like what, for example, OKC, Houston, I don't know what they got on their cap space, but I think he'll go somewhere like that where he think it'll be an easier walk in. I don't know, so therefore it wouldn't be fair. So if he's found guilty, or if there's some wrongdoings found, and everything I've heard, there's too much smoke. He should be punished as well. It shouldn't just be the Clippers. But that's just my opinion about the whole situation. All right, so that's number 8, Clippers. Let's look at who I got at that number 7 seed. Again, the 7 and 8 meaning that they're gonna be in the play-in, trying to knock off the Warriors, Pelicans, or Grizzlies. One of those, whoever make it. All right, number 7. Yes, sir. Y'all seeing Wembanyama, number 7. Yeah, let's go here. I feel like they probably gonna be higher than 7. Now that I'm really thinking about their squad, they're probably gonna be higher than 7 because they got Wemby, they got Dylan Harper who coming in solid. Keldon Johnson, you see he pulled 12 points, 5 boards, really 13 and 5. De'Aaron Fox, 23, 6 and 4. Stephon Castle, didn't he get Rookie of the Year? 14 points. So you got 2 rookies of the year on this one squad. 15 points a game, 4 assists and 3 boards. Kelly Olynyk, he's usually a dog. He's feisty. Jeremy Shohan, oh man. Yeah, they gonna be a little higher. I'm gonna stick with what I got, but they gonna be higher. I'm convinced they gonna be higher. Yeah. Y'all let me know in the comments what your list is, but they're going to be higher for sure, for sure. Bismack will help back up in the center as well. Uh, Devin Vassell. Oh, man. Yeah, they going to be higher. Now that I'm really looking at their squad, I definitely did not, I didn't rank them right. Because even with Julian Champagne, he's a dog too. They even got Harrison Barnes. Wow. Uh, yeah, yeah. I got I got him at 7, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm about to name my number 6. I think I want to switch them with this team. But we're gonna leave it like this. We're gonna leave it like this. All right, number 6, we've got the Dallas Mavericks. Dallas Mavericks, we got Max Christie, Dante Exum, Derek Lively, Anthony Davis, Dennis Smith Jr., okay, D'Angelo Russell, Dwight Powell, Kyrie, Najee Marshall. A lot of you guys putting up some numbers. Caleb Martin, Daniel Gafford, PJ Washington. Oh no, now Klay Thompson, Cooper Flag. Oh no, but here's the thing. Here's the thing about Dallas. Same thing plaguing a lot of these other squads. Health. How healthy can they stay? When is Kyrie coming back? When is Gafford? Is he ready? Derek Lively, I think he was hurt. Anthony Davis, I saw him on media day. His eye really messed up. Hopefully that won't affect him too much when he get to playing. But yeah, I don't know. I might leave. I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it. They gonna stay at number 6. Lakers always gotta be fancy. Now why they else look like this and everybody else got the information right there? Look how they is. Luka, we ain't gotta say nothing, but they got the little button right here. We can look at his stats. Luka's at 28 points a game, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists. So, again, like I said, we ain't really have to go look at Luka numbers. We know what the Luka magic brings, okay? DeAndre Ayton, I am interested in his stats. What he working with? 14. Okay, walking double dub, 14 and 10. DeAndre, that's what he brought last season. We can get with that. All right, DeAndre. Rui bringing 13 and 5. All right, Rui, you need to bring that up a little bit. That was part of the problem last season. All right, who we got next? Jackson Hayes, Bronny James. I ain't really going over their numbers. I'm not. LeBron James. What the 40-year-old man bringing? 24, 8 and 8. That ain't bad for an old man there. 24, 8 and 8. He what, 40? He'll be 41 this year? 24, 8 and 8. 23rd season in the league. And I'm hoping, speaking of Bronny James, I'm hoping that he gets some good minutes in the rotation. Probably not, but I just hope that he can get about 8 minutes a game, something like that, to get out there and start getting him some burn and start developing and getting that DNA as a good defensive player to get him on that court. I'm hoping that's what he does. We'll see. Max Keebler, he was hurt a lot. We know Dalton connect. Hopefully Dalton can get that rock going. Laravia was very impressive in the summer league. I liked what I saw with him. Aggressive and everything like that. Austin Reeves, hey, we know what AR-15 brings. Marcus Smart, same thing. Jerry Vanderbilt, another good defensive player. I don't know why I thought Gabe Vincent was gone. He can go. They need to get him. He can go. He has not impressed me at all. I don't know who this Chris man is. And Coloco. I like Coloco. I do. I just hope Bronny, Dalton connect. I hope they can, get it going this year. These young boys right here. Whatever happened to Quincy Olivero? I liked him too. What happened to him? Anybody know? Let me know. Let me know what happened to him. But that is our number 5 right there. I'm hoping that the Lakers can get up in there and make something happen. Lake Show. Make something happen. Bron needed a ring now. He need one more ring before he leave. I want that to happen for him. I do. Not that I feel like it would, nothing to do with the GOAT debate. Because I just like him. I would like to see him get it. I feel like that's a wash in terms of him being the GOAT. It's cringe. Him keep calling himself the king. Anyway, that's not why we're here either. Number 4, them T-Wolves and that Georgia boy, T-Wolves. DiVincenzo, defense. Jaden McDaniels, 12 points, 5 boards. Rob Dillingham, he only had 1 year in the league. Hopefully he gonna get a little more bird as we come up. The Georgia boy, Anthony Edwards, 28 points, 5 assists, 6 boards. And he's been working this offseason adding mid-range to his game. So he want to be a better mid-range guy because he was getting clamped up in the Western Conference Final. He was getting clamped. Them clamps was on him. He couldn't do nothing about it. So he decided to do something about it by perfecting his game, being able to create, a better look for himself. Mike Conley. Do y'all have anybody else that can? Okay, hang on. I'm gonna come back to that. Who else stands out? Nas Reed, we know what he can do. 14.6 boards. Rudy Gobert, hey, double-double. I knew it, double-double. Julius Randle is lethal as well. He can score offensive threat. What I'm looking at, though, about this squad, it got me a little curious. Who they point guard? Is this dude gonna develop into a point, this rookie? Rob Dillingham, they get ready to get a rock to him? Because I know they not finna hang it all on that old man. I know they not. Mike Conley, how old is he? 37. Maybe. Although on a team like this, you really need, you get it to him and get it to Randall. And maybe that's why they don't have that many assists because they getting it to them early in the shot clock, letting them get they little thing off. So, maybe that's why. But, and I guess really at a team like this, when you got 2 talented scorers as those 2 guys are, your guard just really need to get the ball across down the court and dish it off to one of them anyway. So, I guess with that being said, Conley should be okay for the squad. All right, number 3, I got Denver Nuggets. But I got Denver for a few reasons. I feel like they lost some of their depth. Christian Braun, and they got theirs. Well, you got to click in it too. 15 and 5 for him. 3 assists. Not too shabby. Okay, so they got some shooting. They got Bruce Brown. They got Tim Hardaway. So maybe I spoke too soon. Valanciunas to back up Joker. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. Cam Johnson. Okay, maybe I spoke too soon. Aaron Gordon and Murray. I still feel like my top 2 teams are better. Gordon 14 and 5. I still feel like my top 2 are better. But this is my number 3, Denver Nuggets. That's where we are with it. Number 2. Okay, so the Houston Rockets are my number 2. For some reason, that site wouldn't let me pull up the Rockets roster. So we're going to just have to go through it this way to make sure that we have everybody. Steven Adams, Clint Capella, 2 centers. Clint Capella, he's still good. I'm just tired of him. Maybe he'll be good for what they got. He can't shoot, can't stretch the floor. I don't even think Steven Adams is a shooter. Let's see. Yeah. See there, 0% from 3. He's not a shooter either, so that could be ugly for them. Unless there's another center down here that I'm not seeing yet. You got Kevin Durant. I'm gonna skip over the ones that hadn't really done much. We know what KD can bring. 3-level score. Um, Dorian Finney-Smith, Jeff Green, 39 years old, another older one. Kevon Harris, Aaron Holiday. I'm out of Josh Okogie. Got Josh Okogie. Sengun, which is good. Reed Shepard, Jabari Smith, Amen Thompson, and Fred Vliet is now hurt. Fred Van Vliet is now hurt. Yeah, I just feel like with this squad, I think that they're gonna be able to make some noise in the West. We shall see. Hopefully, Kevin Durant, this is it for you, buddy. This was really a grace pick. I put him up there because I want to see him lead a team and finally have figured it out and get them there. But to be honest with you, now that I'm really, really looking at their roster, yeah, I'll likely be changing it by by the break. We'll see. But this is where I have them now, mainly because, like I said, of Kevin Durant. And his supporters that I really, really like is Sengun, Reed Shepard, Jabari Smith Jr., Amen Thompson. That's if Reed Shepard can get in there. Maybe he can get in there and take that rock, and do, what everybody expected him to do in the league. I know he had a slow start last season, but maybe he can get in there and take over. Now that's two teams now that I set up, and then now that I'm talking about it, I don't know. I feel like I got the Spurs too low and the Rockets too high right now. That's just my mindset right now. But we'll see. I'm gonna stick with it. I got to see it through, so I'm gonna stick with it. Number one, I'm sure it was no secret, the Oklahoma City Thunder. We got Jason Williams. We got Mr. Dort. Of course, you got the MVP of the finals. These are the defending champs. 33, 6-5. Shea, the man Shea, Chet, Jason Williams, or Jalen Williams, Alex Caruso, and yes, he's another one that I feel like them Lakers should have kept. Isaiah Joe, good. These are names that I remember. They're good players. They hold their own. Wiggins, another good one. Why he look like a 2K player? He look like a MP. Who else we got? Wallace. This the one. His brother on the Atlanta squad. So he got him a chip. He contributed 8 points, 3 boards, 3 assists. Something light. Same thing with Mitchell. Kenrich Williams, Hartenstein. We know what he does, walking double as you can see. But these guys right here, they also have the number 1 defensive rating in the league, which is why I picked them to come out number 1 for the playoffs. I'm not saying they're going to repeat. Right now, I picked them to come out at the end of the season to have the top seed, maintain their wins, because they got the same squad, and they gonna keep doing what they were doing. Now, don't think that these other teams ain't figured some stuff out and they gonna make some adjustments. We gonna see, just like the Warriors had to see that once it's hard. It's something hard to do. But I don't think these guys going nowhere no time soon. They're not gonna be an easy lick. Not gonna be an easy lick. But I think that they will end up being number one out of the West. And then let the games begin after that. We shall see. But that's my list. That is my list. Let me know in the comments who you got. Who you got. What you think. And we'll revisit this at the break. But anyway, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you're new. And as always, stay safe. On to the next one.